Hi, Bell Witch. Hi, Marjorie. Waiting to see Stella's request. We're so technologically challenged, it's not even funny. Thanks for coming back, everyone. All right, Stella, I see you. It's giving me the option to invite you. Are you going to ask or? Okay. It's putting you in the damn little box again.
I don't know what it is. I think you've got to, it's definitely, yeah, something to do with your live settings. Someone said once you request, she needs to click dual. No, it doesn't come up with dual. It only comes up like there's a multi-guest. I think it's to do with your settings, maybe.
Multi-guest. Topic couldn't be changed during the live.
Does anyone out of the 124 people on here know how to make the live side by side? Hi, Belle. It is so good to see. Well, see. Oh,
I swear that's the only thing I can do. Hold on. I'm gonna look on my desktop.
good idea. In the meantime, everyone, we have got some pretty beautiful energy coming up with the Mercury retrograde. I just want to remind everyone not to fall into the shit that people share online, how it's just fear mongering. Just take this opportunity to let what is meant to be be. So all the RE words, whenever Mercury is retrograde, think of RE. So rest, rejuvenate, revitalize, revisit. I know that there are a lot of people who are like, oh, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. But if you fall into the trap of the fear mongering, you then start to create those stories in your mind and then in your belief system, and then you experience it. So you've really got to restructure and reframe your belief system around Mercury retrograde and not think that it's something bad. So check your live settings and also click onto multi-screen if that's an option for you or dual.
I'm trying to do panel.
Yeah, exactly, Margie. And I think a lot of people, you know, especially in spell castings, they action things, they
Oh, yes, got it.
did it. What did you have to do?
I had to go under settings and go under grids and then click the type of grid. So
Perfect. Yay. Oh.
thank you everybody for sticking around. Totally Mercury retrograde, right?
Yes, Oracle. Yeah, absolutely.
Mercury's like, get your skills going, ladies.
And have patience while doing it. I think that's the biggest thing that I always learn with Mercury retrograde is to have patience, especially with technology and communication.
Yes, and not to give up. I mean, we figured it out. So, all right, everyone. Thank you for hanging in there. Do you guys have questions for us today?
Yeah, Harmony and I have absolutely loved to come on live together. We did it for the first time a few days ago. I think it was Friday evening for you, Saturday morning for me. And the reason why we're actually doing this is we want to show you all that witches can come together, practitioners can come together, women can come together and just harness the collective energy of the divine feminine without actually having to live and breathe the patriarchal witch wound of tearing each other down. and competing and being jealous and all of that, because we don't have to be that way. We can come together and put all of our magic in our cauldrons and weave the most potent magic in the world, and that is collaboration. So,
Yes, and that's the age of Aquarius, right? We're supposed to be collaborating, coming together as community. And I feel like there are key things in being able to come together and collaborate with other women. And it's a lot about authenticity, integrity, and also being able to voice and say what you're feeling and have that be received without it being taking it personally. And is there anything else coming to mind for you? I feel like there's so many little things like that that we could probably give tips to other women for to be able to show up in a good way for each other.
yeah, and I think a lot of the time people don't realize is that when we feel these harder emotions, we have been brought up not to feel and express it in a way that we should as women, as divine feminine. We're in a very masculine run energy, or have been. And I'm not going to say we are now, because we're not. We're changing that. We're rewriting that story. We're feeling that. Where, you know, that is when we become competitive. We become like we have to be tearing each other down. So when those feelings come up, we invite you to look inward and be like, what is that? Where is that stemming from, and why is that being triggered? And you'll realize it actually has nothing to do with you and everything to do with the collective conditioning from the moment you were born and before that. So,
Yeah, how we see other women as being a threat to us when there's actually no threat there at all.
exactly. Okay, I think people have asked. I think someone asked what zodiac sign you are, Harmony.
Yeah, I seen that. I am a Cancer Sun, Pisces Moon, Libra Rising. What are you, Stella?
So I am a Libra Sun, Virgo Moon, Scorpio rising. And I always love to throw in my Leo midheaven, because that's why you see all of my rituals being so big. Because I've got the Libra sun being all aesthetic, the Virgo moon that is very particular with how it's set up, and my Scorpio rising, which is like my embodiment of my dark feminine. And then, yeah, Leo midheaven, that's all of the big rituals.
Where's your Venus? Where's your feminine energy? Where?
Scorpio.
Scorpio too. Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah, I have a lot of Scorpio placement, which makes sense.
I love that.
Where's your Venus?
What are the other questions we've got on here?
So Cynthia said, how can I start to study about witchcraft? I feel lost about what is the first step.
Well, for me, I would say studying the craft, learning, like researching, reading books, learning to cast a circle, not just starting to dabble by casting spells. I always suggest not to start that way, because that's how I started. I feel like it was completely the wrong way.
I mean, you learned the lessons.
Yeah, I learned the lessons the hard way. What's your suggestions?
Yeah, for me, it's definitely learning the fundamentals before actually getting into the practical. So you're centering, grounding, earthing, energy, frequency, vibration, and also the history of witchcraft. I think it's very important to learn the history, the hysteria around the craft, and why the collective feels that way towards the witch archetype, and protection. Protection is important, the embodiment of protection. Gosh, what else? There's so much, but just taking it really slow. You don't need to know and do all the things all at once. Write a list and just slowly tick them off. And also cultural appreciation, not appropriation, and what's a close practice. I think that's very important in your craft as well. Ethical, sustainable craft.
Yes, I agree.
Katie says, I enjoy both of your videos and I've learned so much from you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, you guys, what are your questions?
I can hear Oracle upstairs. She's like bugging around. I don't know what she's doing.
Do they ever mess up your grids?
Oh, that was a parrot. I was like, what was that noise? They've only ever done that once, and it was when Pixie and Oracle were having like play fights, running up and down the stairs, and they just like slid through it. But most days they just like walk through it and sit in it. They're very respectful.
How sweet. How are you guys preparing for the new moon? So right before the new moon is the dark of the moon, and that is considered Hecate's moon. When will we be in the dark of the moon? I think Wednesday we're considered in the dark of the moon, aren't we? Maybe Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember when my moon circle is. I'm sorry, I've been so busy getting ready for this episode. I'm like,
You hold a new moon circle every month, right?
yeah, every new moon, every full moon, and every new moon I create a new grid. So that is what I've got to be doing, preparing for the new moon, is setting up a new grid upstairs.
So you're going to be holding two new moon circles in December because we have a black moon at the end of the month.
Yes.
Which is two new moons. When we have a black moon, that's two new moons in the same calendar month.
Which is a beautiful way to end the Gregorian calendar. I never really feel like it's the end of the year for some reason. I'm more in tune with the witches' wheel of the year, like we're not the Gregorian calendar. But I always think that there's a few times throughout the year that we have a fresh start, not just the Gregorian New Year. But yeah, the Sagittarius new moon is coinciding with Mercury retrograde as well. But again, not to fall into the trap of the fear mongering around Mercury retrograde. It's more so about being rather than doing, I think, with Mercury retrograde. And also, gosh, the Sagittarius energy is about the free thinkers, about adventure, about that fire energy. So I think it's going to be a really beautiful new moon. I feel like it's going to feel more like a full moon rather than a new moon for some reason.
I can feel that already. It feels like everybody's like going through a lot of internal shifting and changing right now. Everyone's being drawn inward. Like, how do I feel about this? How do I think about this? You know, all of those. I think the shadow that would come up during this time would be like self-righteousness, thinking you know it all. So to just be open to the information, the truths that are being exposed in the world. Yeah. We have to stay open-minded right now, so open-minded.
Exactly. And I think be open to learning something new as well and not being closed off to the mystery, I think is something that I'm feeling at the end of the year. There's so much expansive energy happening. So it's time to really shift your mindset and your belief system around what feels right for you and just decondition from all of that other shit that doesn't. So yeah, the truths are going to come out, I think, in all areas of your life with this Sagittarius new moon.
Yeah, I think I've seen in the new moon chart there was some aspects to Chiron. So maybe a lot of our like deep wounding getting triggered. So being able to look at that and transform our pain into our purpose rather than being victim to our pain.
I love that. Yeah, whenever there is a Chiron energy, I think, yeah, the karmic lesson is going to be illuminated. And I used to be really, no, don't get me wrong, used to be so resistant. And the more resistant you are, the harder it is for you to navigate. So I always like to, Maya is a really beautiful water goddess, and she's all about surrender. So tuning into the goddess of Maya, and learning to surrender, especially in the moments where you're feeling like you're resistant to something. So I think with this Sagittarius moon and Mercury retrograde, you may feel that energy, and Chiron far out. You might feel resistance. And I always like to tell people, what you are not changing, you are choosing. So
Mm-hmm.
if there are things in your life that are shit and you have the ability to change it, but you're not, you're choosing that.
I think that's a common thing for humanity as a whole. We get stuck in that victim mindset and we just keep talking about how horrible things are, how horrible things are, and we don't ever do anything about it. And it's, yeah, why aren't you changing it? If you're not changing it, you're making the choice to live in it. So,
Exactly. And then that becomes your belief system. That becomes your ingrained belief system unconsciously and consciously. And then you wonder, why are you not experiencing the life that you want to experience? Is because it really comes down to the power of your mind and also your belief system. So you've got to, yeah. I'm invisible. No, Kimberly, I can see you. You should absolutely. Kimmer says, hi, ladies, should I do shadow work? Newbie witch.
yes. Yes. Especially before we get that 1% illumination of light with the new moon, we are feeling that immense, like, collapse of energy, that collapsing of the last moon phase. Like, it's ending. Everything's kind of like, I always look at it like it's dripping, it's pouring off of you. You just have to allow it to go. Rather than like, especially as women, I feel like we like hang on like claws in, and sometimes we don't even realize we're doing it, but it's like the universe is trying to remove something from our life and we're like, no, give it.
I'm resistant to it. I'm holding on to it. Yeah, and then you wonder, why is my life like this?
Yeah.
Someone asked, Jenna asked, how do you navigate being around non-witches in your day-to-day?
I don't, I am, well, Stella calls it a hermit witch. I'm home quite often. I'm definitely a Cancer, a homebody.
Yeah, for me, I have the awareness and the acceptance that everyone lives their life differently. And as long as we live with integrity and respect with one another, then it doesn't matter what you resonate with and how you live your life. Because, yeah, it's only when people try to like come up to a cafe and, say you're going to, go to the depths of the gates of hell and you're going to perish. Like, I've had that happen before. And I just think, like, yeah, so it doesn't really bother me because I know who I am. And if it doesn't resonate with someone, then that's okay too, because there is over 8 billion people in the world and we're not meant to be for everyone. I mean, how boring would that be if we got along with everyone and everything was, fine? And I always like to say it's quality over quantity with everything in life. And if you have people in your life that don't respect your beliefs or respect how you live your life, then that just shows and illuminates who they are rather than.
Yeah, I feel like learning to not take things personal has been a big step in my journey, and just living side by side with other people in the world is because when they are projecting their feelings towards you, it really has nothing to do with you. And it doesn't. Like, and the more you are like, oh, like, good for you. Like, of course, you're going to be like, damn, do you really have to come project that energy to me in the middle of my day? But at the same time, it's like, you do you. You go live your life. I'm fine being me. I'm happy being me. So ultimately, it doesn't affect me that much.
Exactly. I think the more you know who you are and the more you really stand in your sovereignty and your power, then, what other people think of you doesn't matter, because you're not seeking validation from outside sources. You're only seeking validation from within. And the moment that you have that embodiment of that, then anyone can say whatever they want about you and it doesn't actually permeate your heart in any kind of way, because you are the embodiment of who you are in your most pure soul essence. And if someone else is, projecting their shit onto you, then it really doesn't matter. Because that's, like you said, a reflection of what they're at and what they're going through right now rather than a reflection of any kind of way.
Yeah.
So Claudia has asked, how do you define coven? It is a group of
A
I
coven.
like to say, yeah, empowered, sovereign, powerful, magical souls. For me, my coven, it's not a closed off place where I'm like, oh, you've got to be this, and this to be a part of the coven. I'm open to all who come into this space to be able to share their unique magic, and there's no hierarchy. There is no like, above anyone. We're all here to learn and walk each other home because we all know things. We all have our own wisdom. It's when you bring that together in the collective cauldron that you're able to harness that magic and also learn and grow and evolve.
Yeah, historically, a coven was a 9-foot circle, and there were 12 women, usually 12 sisters, and one man. And they would like dance in these circles at the Sabbats. When I've done research, that's like the oldest, like structured type circle energy that I could find. There may be other things out there, but I feel like that was a start to it. And then Wicca, they do have that hierarchy that you were talking about that is, a priest and a priestess. And I do have a lot of respect for Wicca because I believe they, to some extent, preserved the craft and allowed us to be free to walk the path we're walking today. But I feel like as solitary witches, we're looking for a different type of coven than that Wiccan traditional coven where we have a high priestess and a high priest and a hierarchy. And people are wanting in our modern world to find like what they see in the videos at my retreats, like that's a coven. But we still don't have enough witches, oh sweet, in every town where you can necessarily make that a thing. So leaning on social media, I feel like it has become a really beautiful way to create a coven and a sisterhood and a community in the lives as we're chatting. Like, you guys chat with each other, respond to each other. This is how you can build those relationships as solitary witches, because I feel like my coven is widespread out there. Stella's part of my coven, but she's all the way in Australia, right? So,
which is such a beautiful thing at the same time, because, yeah, I can't put the word to how deep the connection is that we had, and the fact that we have really just had this unspeakable, I can't even define it by words, guys. Like, honestly, when you have this deep connection with someone, it is lifetimes. It is lifetimes. And no amount of water or land can separate that connection and that energy. And that's why this can work so beautifully. Because we're both holding space on opposite sides of the world, which is so incredible. And I'm going to come back to the States next year. I have decided that it's going to happen. So
you're putting it out there in the cauldron.
It's in there already. I think the moment that I left, I had it already in there.
I'm so glad you loved it so much that you want to come back.
Oh my gosh, I loved it over there. It's so beautiful. Everyone was so lovely. Yeah, not on land, but not in spirit. I love that. Does anyone else have any questions? Yes, Oracle is back.
I thought that made me Wicca. I'm a solitary witch and follow the moon phases and wheel of the year. I thought that made me Wicca. Wicca is being Wiccan is the religion of witchcraft. So you're probably more a solitary witch, not a Wiccan per se. If you were Wiccan, you would have a coven and a group of practitioners that you practice with.
I think it's a pretty structured way of doing the craft as well. Like there are kind of like, it is like an organized religion in a way, in the sense that it has its particular rules and beliefs within it. Whereas witchcraft as a whole, it's so broad. It's very broad.
Yeah, it is very broad. I find it a little difficult because I'm like wanting to for witchcraft, the solitary witch, to not just get lost and become another word for spiritual woman, and have some foundation, but also not be like Wicca and be so structured that we have to follow someone else's path.
Yeah, yeah. I never resonated with Wicca as such, but I do. There are so many elements of paganism throughout Wicca and like the ancient craft throughout Wicca that I resonate with.
Yeah,
But you're so
I love a lot of.
Can you hear me still?
You do
Oh,
keep cutting off.
I was like, yeah, no, you're cutting off too.
I am.
So Jenna is asking, yeah, you were for a second. It's like our connection. What is a good deck to start with of tarot? I don't personally work with tarot, so Harmony is definitely the the witch to ask about that.
I would start with the traditional Rider-Waite and learn the historical aspects of the tarot, and then from there find a deck that the imagery really resonates with you. So I feel like artistically we all have something different that speaks to us. So for me to say start with this deck, I would be telling you what resonates with me, but I would say look for the imagery, and as you learn the historical definitions for each card, also be open to your own interpretation as you feel into the imagery on whatever deck you do choose.
Yeah, no, I love that. Do you have any beginner witch book recommendations?
I like to ride a Silver Broomstick by Silver Ravenwolf. It gives a great solitary witches like overview.
I love Way of the Witch by Sally Morningstar. It's such a beautiful book, and also the illustrations are just incredible. Like you could frame them; they're so beautiful. It has an illuminated, like depiction of what. Sorry, what did you say?
I've never even heard of that book. Is it a newer book or an older book?
Um, oh gosh, I was selling it in my store next door about 5 years ago, I think.
So it's been around for a little while.
I think so. Yeah,
Interesting.
it's beautiful. I think you would love it, Harmony. Actually, you're such a book reader. I'm not a book reader. I don't read a lot of books.
Yeah, I love to read.
Yeah, you're amazing.
I like The Year of the Witch. I've never heard of that one either.
Oh, I haven't heard that either.
Yes, Pamela Coleman Smith is the original artist for the Rider-Waite deck, I believe.
Yeah, I'm more into Oracle. I don't actually even own a tarot deck, which is wild, but I'm definitely drawn to it. I think it's because I've got so many beautiful tarot readers in my life that I'm like, I'll go to them if I want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, Oracle is just, yeah, the Way of the Witch. Yeah. Oh my gosh. If it's that price, please do that. I don't think I can even buy it like wholesale that price. So Amazon is insane.
That's crazy because I have a course I called The Way of the Witch, and I had no idea there was a book named The Way of the Witch.
You need to get it. I feel like there is some connection there.
Yeah, there is.
Oh yeah, Women Who Run with Wolves.
That is a good book. That book, like, oh, I haven't read it in a while, but when I first read it, it was like I kept having to read chapters over and over. It's a really like deep book.
Harmony, your book was Silver Broomstick question mark.
To Ride a Silver Broomstick by Silver Ravenwolf. It's an old book. She was Wiccan and then became the Solitary Witch and wrote a bunch of books for the Solitary Witch. She wrote like Teen Witch, and I know she gets a lot of crap for cultural appropriation, as do all witches who wrote books of older times, but I think they were doing the best they could at the time and they didn't know better, and so now they know better, so they do better, but there's still that basic knowledge, the foundation that they preserved for us. So I always say take what you like and leave the rest. Like if they use the term smudge or something like that, know that that's not a practice of the witch. That's a Native American practice, things like that. So,
That's why it's important to do your own research so that when you do see, you know, a book or someone sharing about it, you have the awareness yourself. So that, yeah, you take what resonates and release what doesn't. Um, oh, Rebecca, yeah, you've got the Way of the Witch, don't you? How beautiful is it? So Amy's asking, what are some Yule traditions you do? I just started celebrating the more natural holidays. Need ideas?
well, if you guys want, I have a little virtual magazine I do called Weaving Magic. So if you sign up for my emails through my website, you'll get well, you actually have to sign up for the virtual magazine, but there's a whole magazine on Yule practices. But one that I'm doing is the wishing tree, where every ornament you put on a tree is holds the intent of a wish that you have. So,
Oh, that is so beautiful. Um, yes, so what I do with my children is that my mum made us a Yule calendar. So it's basically made out of passion and it has these beautiful handmade felt like a Santa Claus, a Christmas tree, like mum made it. And every day for the day of Yule, it used to be gifts where you get little gifts. I know it's very popular now, but we've had it growing up our entire lives. But I've swapped it from getting little gifts to experiences. So, you know, make biscuits with, you know, the kids, watch a Christmas movie, go outside and forage some sticks and make the pentacle for the Yule tree, make Christmas decorations for the Christmas tree, like, you know, out of the orange and the cinnamon, and you hang it. So we've created those little experiences with the family to make memories for Yule. And another one is foraging pine cones, and it's like making wishes. So you put wishes inside the pine cones, and then you make a bonfire with your Yule log. So have a Yule log. You can make wishes on the Yule log and light it every day for Yule as well. And then you throw it into the bonfire, and basically the fire releases the wishes into the universal energy.
oh, I love that. Margie was talking about the pine cones, but I didn't realize you threw them in a bonfire. That's so cool with
I
YOLO.
think that's very like I think you can hang it in your windowsills and stuff like that or on your tree. But yeah, for me, I always thought like yeah to release the wishes, throw it out, and then it just yeah takes it up.
I love it.
Yeah, I've got let me see what else. I've got my whole book here as well. Other things, yeah, making a Yule altar. Like Harmony has the most beautiful Yule altar behind her.
Yeah, it's not done yet, but it's kind of done.
So really tuning into the energy of the colors of Yule and creating an altar, I think is really beautiful. And hanging mistletoe for prosperity and healing. So what else? Yeah, making
Be careful with mistletoe. I heard it's poisonous to cats.
oh, okay. Well, we can't get mistletoe as such here. Oracle, what are you doing up there? Um,
It's
but
a
yeah,
smart.
really, really high, or don't get it at all. Substitute it for something else, maybe some pine or something. Um, yeah, and recognize that Yule is a time of closure, especially in relation to the solar. So going inward, driven activities in your life, gracefully let go of the things that are no longer needed, um, and bake cookies. I think that's very Yule. And make a roast dinner or whatever it looks like. We have our Yule celebration on Christmas Eve here in the Southern Hemisphere, and we have like the full roast dinner. We make homemade gifts and do like a gift giving um, sort of thing. And then we have this Danish dish where it's called risalemang, and it's rice, cream, and vanilla, sugar, and we all sit around the table, and it's got a big nut. It's got almonds crushed up in it, but then there's one big nut in it, and we all have to try and get the big nut, and we all have to be really quiet until like the end of it and guess who's got the nut, and then you win a prize. So that's a Danish tradition that you do, and you give the rice that you cook to the little misses in like the little misses are like the little elves of Yule, basically. So you put that in gifts leading up to Yule so that you have a beautiful Christmas.
That's really cool. I've been, most people don't know. Have you heard of La Befana, the Christmas witch? La Befana is the Christmas witch in Italy. So if you lived in Italy, they celebrate like 12 days leading up to the 6th of January, which is Day of Kings, they consider. But La Befana was seen as this witch that would fly from house to house looking for the Christ child. And she would fill the stockings of the children with sweet treats. And so they still, like in the streets over there in Italy, they have this whole reenactment of La Befana's story and how she goes out and searches for this Christ child. And so I love the story of La Befana and have been adding that to like extending my holiday season to the 6th and giving my kids sweet treats.
I love that. It's like the 12 days of Christmas, basically, as well. We celebrate Yule for quite a few days. I have got some pages in my Book of Shadows if people want to screenshot it. Can I do that on here? Actually, I don't think I can.
I mean, you could, but they might get upset at you.
Oh, yeah. TikTok might get upset with me. Yeah, no, I've got these really beautiful pages in my Book of Shadows that talks all about Yule, what rituals you can do, what divination you can do, Goddess Rhiannon. But yeah, and then we've got recipes for things that you can cook.
And you typed all this out. Wow, my Book of Shadows is all handwritten.
No, I inherited this. These are all inherited. But I do want to put it into my big Book of Shadows and write it because I would like to do that, the things that I really love. But I share these pages with as many people as I can because I inherited it. I feel like it's fine to share with people. So, yeah, Odin in regards to Yule, yes, I absolutely agree. Thank you. Yeah, the 12 days of Yule, exactly. Like you light your Yule log for those 12 days.
And the story of Odin flying through the sky with the reindeer, like there's so many stories that we have just transformed and morphed that were pagan.
Oh, so much so. I think people don't realize, and then it's been over commercialized and also stolen, you know, other religious beliefs. But yeah, I always invite people to look into the true history of especially Yule and Easter and Halloween, so to speak.
Yeah, they gave everything new names. Anything that has mass at the end, like Christmas, you know there was something potent there that they changed into a mass because masses are traditional to the Catholic Church. So like in bulk, they call it Candlemas. So
Yeah.
like, why did they go after that holiday? Why did they want that time? But I feel like Yule, because there were so many stories around different gods that were born at that time, even though Yeshua, Jesus, wasn't really born during Christmas season at all. They were like, we're going to plug him in there, and so that the pagan people that we converted will be happy about being able to still practice something during that time of year.
Absolutely wild to me. Like, it blows my mind, yeah, how overly commercialized it has gotten. But I do feel like more people are realizing, like a lot of people who practice Christianity are realizing it's a Yule tree with a pentagram on top. So I did see last Yule that a lot of people who have their belief system in Christianity and Catholicism not put up Christmas trees because of that reason, because it's a Yule tree. So
Well, you should put up a tree, just doing it with different intent, rather than buying into the Jesus story, go back to the old traditions because the tree of old at Yule, I believe, was brought in until it was Star or Beltane, right? And then they burned it in the Beltane fire, I believe.
yeah, and all the decorations on the tree were gifts to the land spirits as well. Yeah, I mean, even marriage was hand fasting.
Yeah.
So I was Christian, walked away 4 years ago, started this half a year ago, now I feel at home. Yeah, I mean, you feel at home because a lot of Christianity is very ritualistic as well. A lot of the holidays are pagan holidays.
Happy Witchmas. That's what I've been telling my kids this year. I'm just going to call it Witchmas because everybody has a hard time letting go of the word Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah, Triclite, it is Lipa here in Australia, technically. But because my mum and my dad are both from the Northern Hemisphere, and that is my ancestral lineage, Yule is one of our biggest holidays and celebrations. So we honor our lineage for Yule and also celebrate Lipa. I have that displacing energy around the Sabbats here because my soul wants to be celebrating and honoring the Sabbats with you guys over the Northern Hemisphere, but obviously I have to honor the seasons that we are celebrating here. So, yes.
So, are other people celebrating Yule there or Christmas there or no?
Yeah, no, it's a whole big thing. It's just as big as it is in the States as it is here at Christmas. Yeah.
That's so, it would feel displacing to be like, well, technically we're celebrating Yule or Litha, but we're celebrating it. Yeah, that would.
Yeah, I would definitely say that Samhain and Yule are definitely the biggest Sabbats that I feel very displaced in. Yeah, because I'm like, this is not when it's not when it's supposed to be celebrated. I do anyway. Have any of you ladies seen the movie musical? What are you saying? The movie or the musical of Wicked? No, I haven't. And I don't know why. I just have this I don't have this want to go and see it. I never caught on the train of Wicked as much as other people, but like Harmony and I talk about this all the time. Yeah, about the green skin is something that I'm like, ugh. They couldn't have touched on that a little bit because in the history of witches with green skin, it's gangrene, bruised and battered, broken nose. So yeah, maybe that's what's stopping me from being excited about it.
Yeah, my daughters are, I think, surprised that I'm not running out and watching it because they've been trying to get me to go all weekend. And I'm like, well, maybe we'll go on the Thanksgiving holiday. I don't really celebrate Thanksgiving, but the green face thing really is throwing me to not wanting to support it, like to support the bad witch, good witch idea. But maybe there's a story interwoven in there. I don't know. I haven't talked to anybody that's watched it, so I don't know.
I mean, I've seen some people say how incredible it is, but they're also not witches, so they don't really have that perspective like we would in regards to the good witch. Because ever since Wicked started getting promoted, it's like, are you the good witch or are you the bad witch? And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, well, when we were in Salem, we got that everywhere we went, everywhere we went.
Yeah, and everyone was like, oh, Harmony's wearing black. Are you the bad witch? And I'm like, no, she's the good witch. I'm the bad witch. If anything, it's me.
Good witch too.
I'm the one that people.
Did you guys answer my question about the universe?
I don't think I saw it.
I didn't see it either. A witch hat on top of the tree. That's a cute idea.
That is so cute. It is fantastic seeing it twice. Oh, good to hear that, Belle. What do you say to Christians who feel universe talk is about Satan as he's the ruler of the world? To me, I just say, well, Satan is a Christian ideology and belief system that I don't believe in because it is. So,
Yep, I agree. I don't know what else to say. Like, I don't believe in any of it. So,
like, that is your fear-based story that you want to live it by, but that's not our story that we live by. We don't believe that in a fear-mongering way. I've had people come up to me, I've had a man come up to me and say that kind of stuff to me where I just said, that's your belief system, not mine. My belief system predates and outdates Christianity, and Satan is not a part of that. But I also say that when people bring in Satan, I said, yeah, I heard it's nice and warm down there this time of year, so I'll meet you there.
yeah, it's crazy how people just assume that everybody believes the same. Or I guess Christians just, they have this, I don't know what the word is. It's like they just think that everybody else believes the same because they do. Like the comments that we'll get on I know you get them too. And it's like, I don't believe in the Bible. Why do you think I care what your Bible says when they're putting verses from the Bible? Like, that doesn't mean anything to me. It's a book they use to control humanity. Why would I keep feeding into that?
Yeah, and a book that has been rewritten so many times from the original scripture. And I always like to say to people, like, if you put multiple different ancient cultures next to each other, all of their scriptures, and you take away the labels, you probably couldn't even actually really be like, oh, that's from, this religion, oh, that's from this religion. Like, you take away the labels and we all believe in the same thing. There is a higher, power that we are so deeply connected to. I don't believe that we're disconnected from that. And I hate people that place their power outside of themselves by thinking that there is a man in the clouds that, wants them to repent and wants them to feel guilty and wants them to be judged. Because I don't believe that at all. We are God personified. We are the universal energy personified. We're all an extension of the very thing that created all. So yeah, I hate that they disempower themselves by having that kind of belief system.
And the projection is crazy. How they feel it's their responsibility to project their beliefs all over everybody else. And it's like, I would never waste my time going on other religious people's pages and being like, today's Yule, not Christmas. But why?
I absolutely agree. I get a lot of people projecting their shit onto me, whether it's to do with religion, whether it's to do with how I practice. And I think, why are you wasting your energy here? Like, why? And then I go in my sovereignty and power, and then they start getting there because you're going, oh, you're so much full of anger. I'm like, no, I'm a woman who's sovereign in her power, and I'm allowed to respond on my page. But they don't like it. They like to spit out their venom, but they don't like to be put in their place as well.
They can dish it, but they can't take it.
Right. Is this live buffering? I don't know. Can you tell us? Yeah, reactive boundaries are valid as fuck. Absolutely, but they don't like it. They think, oh, aren't you supposed to be spiritual? And I said, well, that's the misconception that you have about spirituality, is to think that I'm not allowed to have my back. I'm not allowed to speak my truth and my power. You don't like it? We all have shadow and light within us. Oh, it seems okay to me. Okay, good.
So someone was asking, how do we go about getting things to go our way?
What do you mean? How do we what?
How do you go about getting things to go your way? I think they're meaning...
Go your way. I think it's to go away.
Oh, not to go away. Go your way.
Go your way. Where is this person? I can't see them.
To go your way. I think they're talking about maybe manifesting the life that you want to have. I think there's some mindset work that needs to be done, shadow work. When you are in a particular vibration, life seems easier rather than harder. And even when the lessons come in, it's an opportunity for shadow work and to clear something that blocks us. So it's less of that codependent mindset than humanity has been conditioned through.
It's belief system. It's your belief system that you have within you. You know, you could do all the things and manifest all the things and do all the actions to manifest it, but if you don't have self-worth and self-love within, and you've got this belief system that you're not worthy of what it is that you desire, then you don't get the thing that you want or in the way that you want. And also taking the expectations out of what it may look and feel like. The amount of times people miss what is meant for them because they have this very, like, it's good to be specific with what it is that you would like, but be open to the mystery of what it could feel and look like in your life. You know, if you've got like what it is exactly down to every single detail, down to whatever, and you may miss things. Mm-hmm. Be open to the mystery of it, but be, you know, you can be specific. It is good to be specific. You know, I manifested this place to having down to the smell, down to what people, you know, said when they walked in. You know, and it was all around my belief system and mindset around it. And here I am in this space doing what I love. But I'm also open to the fact that it may look and feel different to what I expected it to. So yeah, your belief system and mindset, self-worth and self-love. And coming from a place of abundance, not scarcity, I think if you are focusing on all the lack thereof of what you have in your life, then that's going to be more everything is energy, right? So if you are focused on all the things that you don't have and you're comparing yourself to everyone else, then that's going to hinder what it is that you know, are meant to have in your life. So stop doing that.
You know, my husband said to me once when we met, "You are everything I never knew I always wanted." That when he said that to me, I've found that throughout my lifetime, that's happened to me so many times. When you're open, it's like those moments of, I never knew this is what I always wanted. But there's like a yearning in us for something that if we, like you said, have blinders on and we're like, we just want this, we're not open to what that possibility, that yearning actually is calling, moving us, trying to pull us towards.
And you're just missing it. And yeah, you may get to it, you know, years and years down the track, but you could have had it a lot earlier if you had the openness and the awareness to be open in that way. And when I say, you know, abundance, I don't necessarily mean just monetary abundance. I'm talking about other things in your life. What is it that you have an abundance of in your life that you can embody that? Then you attract that same frequency to you in all areas of your life.
Yeah.
So romantic, I can't. I mean, of course he is the kindest soul like I've ever met.
My husband, I mean, he's a Libra, so he's so romantic. He said these things to me that stuck with me for the rest of my life. Like when he told me he loved me, he was like, I feel like I'm in high school and I'm falling in love for the first time again. It's like, and it's like all these moments where he had said these things that I just hung on to them forever because I'm a little wordy. So I guess words of affirmation, my love language.
So sweet. Oh my gosh. Honestly, my husband and Harmony's husband got on so well. It was like the most beautiful thing to see in the divine masculine energy. It was just like, as much as Harmony and I loved being with each other, it was such a gift to see them get along so well. And instantly, I think my husband was like, "Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't know what am I going to do?" I'm like, "Just surrender and just, I guarantee you guys are going to get along so well." I mean, I've never met Jason, but I just, from what Harmony said and knowing you, that they're going to get along really well. And it was like instant with them as well.
Yeah, it was crazy. The four of us, it's like we've played this lifetime out 100 times. We remembered as soon as we got together.
It was just a continuation of it, right? It wasn't even getting to know you. It was like, okay, cool, we've reconnected now. Let's keep going.
Off and running. What is the book Who Refused to Put the Writing If the One Woman Mary Magdalene just because she's female? I don't understand that question.
I think you're way up. Sorry if we've missed your questions. We've start chatting on a tangent, so please.
Re-ask your question, or Margie, if you see any questions we've missed, if you can pin it. Hi, Astrid.
Something about, I've had so many of them come into my metaphysical shop saying we worship crystals. I mean, I love my crystals, and then they are of the earth, but I get a lot of hate from religious people about crystals being demonic and all that kind of stuff on my, like, especially my grid videos. And I say, hey, you know that phone that you're using? Yeah, that's full of quartz crystal. You know, the road you drive on, the stove you cook on, the glass you drink out of? Yeah, that's all got quartz crystal woven into the materials of that. So
Your computer, your watch, it's everywhere. That it's the most ridiculous things that, oh.
yeah, it's crazy. Oh, you can't pin questions when it's a joint live. That's okay. We'll try and be more onto it. What is the easiest magic to start with? Crystal, candle, divination, etc. I wouldn't necessarily say the easiest, but what I like to say the most important is your intuition. The moment that you have harnessed and you are in tune and in connection with your intuition, all of the other divination ritual, like, you know, candle magic, crystals, whatever it is, scrying, is going to come and flow a lot easier for you because your intuition is your most powerful and important divination tool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, jewelry too. Yeah, you're so right. So their wedding ring that they're wearing?
Yeah.
Is a banishing spell considered baneful magic?
That's one of those gray lines that even binding is considered baneful. But I don't feel binding is baneful. I feel like the cursing and hexing and wishing ill will is baneful. So
I think it comes down to what you feel comfortable doing and what you don't feel comfortable doing, and your integrity while you're doing it. So if you go out of your way to do harm to another person, then yeah, I consider that baneful. I do it in a way where I'm, you know, disconnecting from someone's energy and protecting myself. And also I do a lot of sending back what is not mine, and however that energy responds to that person. Oh, Margie, that was beautiful. And what that person receives, then that's their energy that they created for themselves. But also being the embodiment of protection, you know, changes a lot as well. You're basically like this walking rubber. And that's what I always like to say. I'm rubber, you're glue. Everything you say sticks to you, or everything negative that you say sticks to you. So it's like that kids, you know, when you're in the playground, I'm rubber, you're glue. Everything you say that's negative sticks to you, or whatever. So yeah, I don't have to do a lot of that. But also, I always like to say that energy is something that you can manipulate and change. So if you've got energy being projected your way, you can use it in a way to empower you by transmuting it and alchemizing it. So if you feel like there is energy being directed to you, use it to empower your rituals. Like when we were in Salem, Harmony and I were like, oh my gosh, it's the day of the I don't want to say it. I don't want to have like words on here that are going to get triggered. We did it on the day of the E. I don't know how to say it. Like,
day of the E.
And we were like, oh my gosh, that's either good. Yeah, we decided that we were going to alchemize that energy to empower our ritual, and it was incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
This guy, Scott, I do feel like it's a little like return to sender spell. I'm rubber, your glue, everything you say sticks to you. Yeah, I do.
I think I've told you this. I don't do return to sender spells because I feel like that is almost cursing or hexing other people, and I'm very careful about that. So if I'm returning an energy, I'm usually sending it to the mother, is the way that I look at it. I'm returning that energy that I don't want to the mother. She can recycle it and return it anew.
Yeah.
But
See that I love that about you. I'm a Scorpio rising, so sometimes I'm like, I don't ever create energy, but I'll redirect it. So, so that is definitely like you're the good witch and I'm the bad witch because like if someone is really wishing ill will upon me, which I have had, I will just redirect it.
That's probably why I'm here with you, is because my North Node is in Scorpio. And I always think it's odd that I started with baneful magic because my North Node is in Scorpio. But I often wonder sometimes, am I supposed to be doing the baneful magic? Is that why my North Node is in Scorpio?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't think that, yeah, like I said, karma. When you create a kind of energy and you are projecting onto someone else, you're basically hexing and cursing yourself. And that's why I never feel the need to hex or curse in a way of actively hexing and cursing, because if people act like a shit person, it's going to come back to them. But also I do find that people, when they're the embodiment of a shit person, they might, go through life without even realizing, whatever. But yeah, no, I truly believe, I'm not even going to tell the story that I told you this morning, Harmony, because
I feel like really often people they can't trust that. They want to see the other person suffer because they haven't done their own shadow work, where I really don't need to see them suffer. I'll truly feel bad if I see them suffer. So it's like, if I see something bad happen to someone that is doing shitty things to me, I may giggle, but then on the other side of the giggle, I'm like, well, that sucks for them. But I don't need to see it. To trust that that's the way the universe works. That's the law of attraction. Like if they're trying to curse or hex me, they're gonna get some really bad shit going their way. So I mean,
and honestly, I think with our social media platform, I think we probably get that a lot without even us realizing, because we're the embodiment of our sovereignty, and yeah, people can't permeate what protection that we have embodied for ourselves. And I feel like that's why I learned so much from you, because you are at that place, and I'm like, my Scorpio rising and Venus is kind of like, but you fuck with my family, my friends, or my business, then it's really hard for me to like not redirect that energy. But I'm learning.
well, I know I learn a lot from you. That's the fierce feminine energy, though. So I feel like, in my lifetime, I have had to come to a place where I will use my voice and I will say what needs to be said. Where, before I was like always worried about not being mean to anybody, not hurting their feelings, all of that stuff, where it's like sometimes you just, need to embody your righteous rage because it's warranted.
Yes. Yeah, if anyone else has any questions and we may have missed it, please resend it through and we can answer to the best of our abilities. That's why we love doing these live, because but if we do, we can share.
Yeah, we're just glad in that transmutation, using their ill will to bless yourself. I'm sure you could transmute any energy and use it to bless yourself.
Yeah, I always like to say that energy you can alchemize into something that empowers you rather than disempowers you.
Yeah, because energy is never destroyed.
Not created, not destroyed.
It just changes form.
Thank you. Yeah, this dress
and
is
Susan,
okay.
Did you make that dress?
No, this is the Hecate dress by Killstar, and it was a dress that I got about 6 or 7 years ago. But if you can find it, get it because it's amazing.
It looks comfortable.
So comfortable. So comfortable.
In a circle, should I rotate left or right, or does it matter? So I believe it's your intent when you're doing work in a circle. When you're going clockwise, I would call it sunwise. And for me, I believe that draws energy in, where if you go moonwise, which is counterclockwise, it's pushing energy out. Now, different people have different thoughts about that, right and left, because some people are like, if you go right, you're giving energy. If you go left, you're receiving energy. So it's one of those, like, what resonates with you?
Yeah, it's an individual intuitive feeling. Yeah, I'm the same. I'm sunwise when I'm bringing in energy, and when I'm, revoking energy, I'm doing it Widdershins, which is you say moonwise, which is the counterclockwise.
Moonwise?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you call it?
Yeah. I call it sunwise and Widdershins.
Widdershins?
Widdershins.
Widdershins?
Yes. Yes. Have you ever heard of Widdershins?
I've never heard of that word before. Widdershins?
I think it might. Yeah, I think it might. Yeah, thank you, Rebecca. I think it might be my Celtic roots. Sunwise.
Well, and what's so cool about you were raised in this way. So you have things that are just like second nature to you.
Yeah, exactly. Like smoke cleansing, I knew it to be saining. So SAIN. Saining.
Yeah.
It is called that in books. Yeah. Yeah.
And
so
when you do seining, when you do seining, do you do X's or do you do crosses?
I do a pentacle.
With the smoke. Oh, you do a pentacle. You make it all your own. I love it.
I know. That's why I'm always like, I don't do things by the book. I do things of how my mother taught me. So yeah, I was always taught to do, and how you draw the pentacle, like where you start from, is either you're conjuring or you're revoking. So
yeah, you're banishing or invoking, and yeah, I've actually never done that with the smoke, but I do use the invoking and the banishing pentagram on many things.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just something that I've always been so drawn to.
Yeah, I've just had some people on the live say that they do seining with a cross and that it's actually from the church. And I'm like, everything predates the church. The church stole it all and made it their own,
Exactly. Anyone else having Stella lagging? Oh, no.
Oh, I'm hearing her.
Okay. We are writing new books. I totally believe that. Oh, a little bit, yes. Yeah, the cross is not something that I've ever been drawn to for whatever reason, but it predates Christianity for sure.
Well, I do an X, not a cross like that.
Yeah.
But the cross like that is like a Roman torture. Like they would hang people on those crosses. I know a lot of spiritual people that aren't Christian wear crosses, but to me it's a Roman torture device. Like why? It would almost be like wearing a noose around my neck or something. Like why would you do that?
Yeah, it's never something that I've ever been drawn to, despite the church and whatever.
Well, whatever. Like I don't even understand it with the church. Like they killed Jesus on the cross. Why are you going to wear the cross? Like why are you going to wear? I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me.
When I get a lot of
now you're lagging.
Oh, I'm lagging. Let me go
Now
upstairs. Whoops. I'm going to go upstairs. Hang on, let me see if this helps. Is that better?
Yeah. Are you gonna
Yeah.
go sit by your crystal grid?
I know. I'm
Oh,
really
she's
having a
so
hard
pretty.
time. Thank you. I'm having a hard time wanting to dismantle her. I'm like, this one can just stay up forever. Is that better? Is it
You make
lagging?
no, not at all now.
Great. Not by the symbol of the cross.
You do an X when saying. That's how I learned to do it. But on a live, somebody told me it's supposed to be a cross, but they may have been a Christian person. I don't know. I have a friend
And
that
I think
lives over in Ireland. I asked her, and she said it's an X. So,
that's what I say to people. Like, if it doesn't feel right to you, even though someone is telling you to do it, don't do it. You know, I don't play by a lot of the rules. I kind of make up my own, or I have been taught by my morpha, like, which is not, hi, come here, which is not like, I guess, what the books tell you to do it and how you do it. So I think it really comes down to your intention and your integrity and your respect. And as long as you're not being disrespectful, and you're doing your research, then yeah, there's no real or right way, like, or wrong way of doing it, as long as you've done your research and you're doing it with respect.
yeah. Yeah, there's so many practices that kind of cross over culturally. It's hard to know. It's more about language and not doing stuff that is exactly to somebody else's culture. But you can even look at like sweetgrass and sage is used in Ireland and Scotland and grows there. So, they don't do smudging, of course. That is, native to Native Americans, the smudging practice, but everyone's using smoke. It's like, it's just called something different.
Exactly. And that's why it's important to, do your research. And at the end of the day, when we're all dead and we're not here earthside anymore, no human owns anything, but it's about the respect behind it. You take away
Yes.
this human body, spirit, we're all this spirit energy. But yeah, there is a lot of trauma attached to, different closed practices, and that's why it's sacred to them. But yeah, there's absolutely different kinds of sage. My parents grow me my garden sage. So
Yeah, I have garden sage out in my garden.
yes. So, oh my gosh, there's so many alternatives. I mean, there is garden sage that you can use instead of white sage, and it's not smudging,
And
it's smoke cleansing.
juniper and mugwort are traditional, I believe, to seining. Juniper and mugwort are. I love to use wormwood. Margot and I use wormwood a lot.
Yes, and I love rosemary. Mugwort is definitely one of my favorites. Hi, Jess. So the hats are arriving the first week of December. So very excited about that. Yeah,
Are my red
rosemary,
hats on
mugwort.
the way?
Yes, they are.
You're still lagging, Stella.
Hang on, let me check my internet. 1 second.
Oh, dragon's blood, yes. Dragon's blood's from the Draco tree. It's kind of like a palm tree. I don't know what oh, you're saying dragon's blood sage. You know what? I actually wouldn't get that because usually the dragon's blood sage is white sage rolled in dragon's blood.
I was going to say a lot of those like dyed sages are white sage that have just been dyed.
Yeah.
So is that better
Yeah, I
at
would.
all?
I think it is.
Okay.
Love your crystal ball.
I know. Yeah, Chris got her for me.
Got a pound of mugwort. Wow.
These are someone
Yeah,
allergic to
usually
smoke.
the only way I use white sage is if I'm making a medicine out of it for something. I usually don't burn it. Years ago, I did burn it, but as soon as I learned what it was exactly used for, to invoke spirit rather than like people are out there like trying to get spirits to go away, and actually that will draw spirit to you. So
That's why I'm like, you've always got to do your research. What kind of spells are good for a full moon? So full moons are all that. Wait,
Oh,
is
you're
it
lagging
lagging?
again. What?
And you're lagging for me.
I wonder why. I have full bars and everything. Do you?
Yes. Yes, I do.
My lighting is really weird in here. It's like getting dark and the light's really dim.
Yeah.
I love your crystal ball.
Thank you. Yeah, she's pretty magical.
Margie,
Yeah,
you
she's
have a
really,
garden, right? She is magical.
yeah.
So if you guys can see, let me show you something up here. Those of you that are asking, this is a bundle of native herbs to Arizona. It's got like yarrow and different things in there. You don't have to use sage if you want to use something that's bundled. Like people are saying like, so I should stick to Palo Santo. Palo Santo is very, it's not easy to come by. It has to like lay down in the forest for like 9 years. So I feel like as witches, we really need to be using the plants that we're growing and bundling them and drying them and using them and remembering there's so many other options other than Palo Santo, which is not native to anyone who's probably on here unless you're over in the Andes somewhere, Peru. And there's just so many plants that are great for purification and cleansing that we probably are growing in our backyard, or mugwort grows around where I live like crazy. So you can go out to a field and clip some mugwort and bundle it and let it dry and use that.
I love that. I think
trying to
people have been saying that the whole app is lagging, not just like our lives, but lots of people's.
Yeah, it's hard to talk. I feel like I keep accidentally talking over you.
I know. I'm trying to not do the same. Some people are asking if spray.
What'd you say?
I said, some people are asking if spray is okay for people allergic to smoke.
Of course. Do you agree?
Yes. Depends if you're allergic to smoke or the actual herb of smoke.
You can plant in pots too. It doesn't have to be even a whole bed. Like I planted some mugwort in pots in my yard. Sound cleansing too. If you have sound bowls, bells, Florida water, rose water.
This is my Moffa's sound bowl that I inherited after he passed. I don't don't know. Did you guys hear that?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a whole body.
I love them.
Resonance.
I will sometimes
I've never
use a
worked
match after. I've never done that with a match, like cleansed with a match smoke.
Neither.
Are you seeing the question about what you use the crystal for, Stella?
On my crystal ball, the scrying.
Someone's asking.
Yeah, I love to scry through her, and she's also an anchor in this space. That's scrying. So basically, you tune into your unconscious self to receive messages and images. So it's a divination tool.
Stella, do you know how to save lives? People always tell me to save my life, and I have never done that. Have you?
Yes. Yeah, I can show you when we get off. I'll send you like a little screen recording.
What do you do with it when you save it?
It becomes like a video on your phone, and then you can choose little snippets of the live to share on your TikTok or your Instagram stories and stuff like that.
Okay.
Why don't you want to answer me? Because I am not American. Well, one, I'm not American, so, but no, sometimes TikTok filters out questions and we don't see them. So just ask it again so we see it. But yeah, scrying is beautiful. You can do it with fire as well and water. Water. You can do it with water.
You and that word water. Every time we say water now, my husband's like, water, water, water. Water.
Water. Water. Honestly, that was one of the biggest words that I noticed was very different. And every time we did a ritual and we spoke about water and I said water, I'd be like, I sound so different. Water.
Beautiful.
I like to go
I
to
love
coffee, glass of water.
it. Sounds weird when you say it the American way. Say it the way you say it. It sounds beautiful. Yeah, I love your accent.
Your accent. You're calling on the spirit of
Calling on the
water.
spirit of water. Well,
Yeah,
in the ritual, when we were talking together and you would say water, water, and I was trying to say water, and I'm like, water. And then I was saying,
I was like, I need to say it the same comedy. Water. Water. Water.
yes, say it the way you say it. It sounds way more beautiful.
Does anyone else have any questions? Are we still lagging? Am I lagging for you still? I feel like it's getting better.
It's a little better. You're still slightly lagging. That person never asked the question.
Of course. Of course they did.
Hey, you guys.
Oh my gosh.
Tap your live. You gotta send us all the hearts, you guys. Heart the live.
Margie,
No
you
hearts.
would not believe. No. I'm thinking the live is burning up. Water. Water.
Here's a gift. Thank you.
Oh. Water. That's how you say it. Water.
Water. Does it sound weird when I say it like you? Water? Yeah.
Water.
Water? Water. Water.
Water. No. No.
Yes. Remember when we were going back and forth on no, like no or yeah.
No. No.
It's so bad bringing back memories in the back seat of the car when we're driving down the road and you're like, no, 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 water.
No. No. Now, so if I say no, that sounds like I've got an R at the end. No.
Yeah, I say no.
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 No. I can't even say it like you, nor. No. Thank you for the love, you guys. Thank you. I'm not seeing the hearts though. How weird.
Yeah, no, let me try. Can I do it if I'm on a live? Oh,
I don't think you can like the light when you're not on it. Hey, where'd you go?
oh, I'm like, everyone's being lazy and not doing it. Can you see my hearts?
See your what?
Can you see my hearts? I'm doing it.
Mm-mm.
You can't see them?
No, that's so weird. Something's going weird with the app tonight, I feel.
Maybe it's because it's a joint live. No, but I actually see the hearts going up. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. We just can't see them.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've almost been on here 2 hours and we only have 10K hearts. We need way more hearts, you guys.
Get heartin'. What can we do to entice?
Thank you. Sorry?
I said, what can we do to entice more hearts? Oh, my legs.
Michelle,
Ask
Spicy Rainbow.
Ask
Thank you for the heart. There's like these awkward silences. I'm like, are you talking?
We're trying to like be careful of not going overlapping each other. But someone did say, oops, Daisy, on the live that it's happening all over TikTok. Oh God, sorry. Twisting you out.
You made it rain hearts. Thank you, Blood Moon Witch. I love the name Blood Moon Witch.
Thank you, lady. You've been slacking on the hearts. That's okay.
It's not all about the hearts.
No, I don't even know what the purpose of the hearts is, so I never ask for it.
Yeah. I don't know either. Someone told me I'm supposed to make sure that people are liking the live. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe it shows it to more people.
What is everyone doing for the Sagittarius new moon?
Fire magic.
Fire magic, candle magic, yes. Carve your intentions into a candle. And then burn it.
I feel like I'm watching an Asian movie where the lips don't match the words. I'm sorry.
Oh, I know. That sucks. Nikki, thank you.
Yeah, Nikki was with us in Salem. Thank you, Margie, little doggy.
Oh, it's so cute, Lily's little bum. You guys can ask questions. I feel like maybe we've answered everyone's questions. Maybe you guys don't have any more questions.
Yeah.
Harmony. I get asked this question all the time. What is your favorite ritual to do?
Favorite ritual would be Ritual of the Sphinx, probably what we did at the retreat with the pentacle. I really love that. The thing about rituals for me, especially the high magic, like that one I think technically is considered high magic. I don't I don't like to use the old words. Like they feel really weird coming out of my mouth. So I try to find different versions or use my own versions of the words that are a little simplified, but still walking that shape of that pentacle. When I have the time to do that, I would say that's a really potent, that one works really well for me.
Mm.
What
That
about
one
you?
was so, yeah, no, that was a very powerful ritual to do, especially together with everyone. Gosh, my favorite. I always like to say life because I always treat life as one big ritual, so to speak, where
Hmm.
everything is done within. Um, but I would definitely say that my circle castings, I feel completely empowered, embodied in my craft when I'm doing my circle castings and my candle magic. My candle magic is known to be very, very potent. Um, so definitely my favorite.
What's your favorite thing to
Yeah.
do with candles?
I don't know if I can say it on live.
Okay.
No, there is this really potent energy around when you climax and using that particular to anoint the candle. Do you know what I
Oh,
mean?
uh-huh.
Yes, it's called
Yes.
sex candle magic, but you can use that to anoint your candle, carve your candle, put your black salt on your candle, and then light it. Um, yeah, it's pretty potent.
Wow. Yeah, that's one I've never done. No, I think I have it set for 18 and up, so I think we're okay, but
Oh my gosh, Nikki, that
Hecate
sounds
is
amazing.
pretty. Yeah. Hi,
Yeah, I do.
Maria. Okay, I'm thinking. I've
Yeah.
never just shared like you do directly out of my book. I do in my classes, but not on my lives.
Oh my gosh, it's really beautiful. It opens up amazing conversations. So if there's anything that you do want to share, hi. Yeah, Nikki, that would have been so
Oh,
empowering.
you know what I have not mentioned about Yule when I just opened up my page to Yule is Mother's Night. Mother's Night is the night before winter solstice, and it's considered when the mother was laboring with the child, but that's when we labor with our shadows, is the night before winter solstice, which is the night before Yule. And so you're supposed to be working with your shadow so you can birth a new aspect of yourself.
Oh, I love that. That is so beautiful. Margie, I don't think every candle is like that. It's a specific one, and it's one that you can burn up like in one burning, so to speak. But yeah, it's very cool. Yeah, there is so much. Yeah, really.
Bones and skulls. I've written so much in this book. This is my favorite page where I've glued all the flowers.
Oh, I love that. So beautiful. That's beautifully done. I'd love to see that photo. A screenshot and print all yours out so I'll just put it in the grandma. Yes, I am. I do have quite a few pages already in the Patreon, and I am going to be posting all of the Sabbats as well on there, so that you can print out and put into your grimoires. Yeah. Oh, I wish I could turn it around and show you.
Yeah, I feel like I should start typing out my pages in my grimoire, because when my niece was here visiting, she was writing in her own book of shadows stuff she was finding in my book. And I've written in cursive. And I guess a lot of kids now cannot write or read in cursive. And so she was like guessing what things were what they said. Yeah, I was like, what? You can't.
Yeah, no, I can get that. Although these are pretty, I don't know if you can see it. I'll see if I can turn it around. I don't think I can. Oh, can I? Oh, I can. So I don't know if you can see that properly.
I don't see you, Stella. It's just a little circle with your face.
Okay. Is that better? No, it's not going to show. There's like a glare.
Yeah, no. I can't read it.
Okay. Is that too glary as well? Yeah, that's just too glary.
Can you guys read that? I can't read it.
Is it still lagging? I'm so worried that I'm going to speak over you, Harmony.
I'm worried about the same thing, so I'm like pausing. We're probably not talking very much anymore.
There's a really beautiful invocation in here as well. So morning light will flood the chamber, winter solstice sun, energy unfolding, Saturn's rule has just begun. Crystals formed of ice and frost, freeze field and forest green, while mighty oak and holly flight for favors from our queen. The great wheel brings conception, birth and death as days of yore. Each bonfire on a ley line honors what has gone before. 7 planets, 7 spheres, 7 gates swing open. I lift my arms and call the charge, the incantation spoken. I conjure water spirits, pour forth the sacred winds. Come hither, O great fire, the magic now begins. Solar vapors, starry heavens, clouds and earth and waves, unite in your perfection on the shortest solstice day. Hold the keys of secrets, and the phantoms will avail. The crossroads shimmer open as the road connects to Grail. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. 7 planets, 7 spheres, 7 gates swing open. I lift my arms and call the charge, the incantation spoken. Be ribboned Yule logs burning, each spark a blessing brings. Red and green the sacred blood of past and future kings. I'm going to say goddesses, but anyway. Mistletoe and bayberry, winter's leaves and resin, spice and myrrh and evergreen connect the earth to heaven. Through scented smoke and sacred prayer, I manifest goodwill, bring peace and joy to hearth and home, and every wish fulfill. 7 planets, 7 spheres, 7 open. I lift my arms and call the charge, the incantation spoken. Let me know if you guys want that one. That would be beautiful to see on Solstice Eve. Yeah, I've got a really beautiful Yule to do as well. I wish I could share it with you guys and you could screenshot it. It's annoying. Anyway.
Sent you both the picture of the yoga, the shape it burned into. Oh, in our DMs. Ooh.
I can't wait to see it. Does anyone have any questions for us? I know it's probably going to get late for Harmony. It's probably like 7 o'clock there now.
Yeah, I am getting sleepy.
I can tell.
My dog had me up all night last night. It was rough.
Oh. Oh. Oh, Margie, that was so beautiful.
I think we're still lagging.
I think we are. So maybe we should close off this live. And when are you next available? Is it Friday night your time, Saturday morning my time? Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And we'll do it on your page this time?
Yeah. We can do that. We'll alternate between the two. So I will set up a live event so everyone registers so you don't miss out. But yeah, we'll also post about it too. We have to be mindful about posting about things because Kim needs to filter it. So it's weird.
Yeah.
Where is Harmony?
I'm in Arizona, in the US.
Hi.
Any other questions before we go, you guys? Thanks for hopping on and hanging.
Did you hear Oracle go? She was being so cute. Alrighty, no last minute questions. Yeah, even though this live is coming to a close, our bond remains unbroken. And we'll see you for the next live.
Are you going to be live on your page, Stella?
I do have a few things that I need to do, and I probably have to leave a little bit early. I gotta go. I've got so many wands and blessings that I'm making. So yeah, I'll probably just do a few more.
Well, we'll see you guys. Yeah, we'll see you guys Friday night on Stella's page. I'll miss you, my sister.
I miss you. So good to see you. Say hi to Jason.
Yeah, say hi to Chris. All right, bye everyone.
Bye. Blessed be.
Love you all.
Love you.